What if your body could heal itself faster than nature intended? What if there was a boot, like an actual shoe, that could reverse the damage that you do to your legs over a season, a week, or even a single day? This $900 boot by Hyperice and Nike thinks it could do exactly that. But this story doesn't start with the Hyperboot. It starts with a homemade ice sleeve and one of the greatest athletes of all time.
We get up every day and we think about how we can improve the way people move. Professional athletes, with their desire to recover faster, to improve performance and longevity, set the recovery movement in motion. But I think you're seeing the trickle-down effects of that into the broader culture. While we design and engineer products to meet the specifications of the world's best athletes, at the end of the day, they're for everybody. The products that we make are being integrated into people's daily lives. Our products become part of the rhythm of a healthy person's life. Building a brand around recovery rather than training opened us up to a new world of what was possible with the human body. We want people to have their bodies feel better, and if their bodies feel better, they're going to move better.
So can a company and a shoe really solve one of the most ancient problems in sports?
Yeah, let's go.
Can technology accelerate the body's ability to repair itself?
It's like a computer.
Can recovery become proactive and not just something that you're forced to do when something goes wrong? Keep watching to see the impressive tech powering the system and how it will impact your daily life. This is Hardware Nation. What is this one for? Right here, it looks like a cast a little bit.
Heating and cooling. My name's Anthony Katz, and I'm the founder of Hyperice. I'm a failed professional athlete turned entrepreneur. When I was growing up, sports were my outlet, and that was what I did all through my childhood. Basketball for me was the ultimate form of competition. Even when I got to adulthood, I just never lost that love for the game and desire to keep playing. When I got to 30, my body had really tightened up and I was losing my range of motion. I was thinking that this seems like way too fast for my body to be losing some of what it had. That's when I really started to think about, well, what do pro athletes do? Before I started Hyperice, it was sort of the dark ages of recovery and technology when it came to products. People were repurposing medical devices to get themselves out of pain. They were sort of big and kind of clunky. These really weren't consumer products at all. That's kind of where the light bulb went on, where I was thinking, like, what if there was a brand that viewed performance through the lens of sort of recovery and injury prevention? What if we could build a brand with technology around that concept? Before I started the company, I decided to, almost as an art project, was to create a portable ice compression device. I went to one of the only wetsuit manufacturers left in California to buy some scrap material, and then just started cutting like kind of hand samples. Right around the time I was coming up with this ice compression device, I met Kobe. And very simply, I was just making a product that he was just doing every day anyway. He was icing multiple times a day. If I came up with a way that was like simpler and better and more effective, then he was just going to use whatever gave him that competitive advantage. There was this guy at the wetsuit factory. I would be like, hey, I'm making this for Kobe Bryant. He's like, yeah, sure, here you go. Like, he just didn't believe a word I said. I think now he believes it, so yeah. Looking back on it now, I realize how lucky that I was to have that time. I don't ever think I stopped and processed it. It was just like, I have an opportunity to share this idea with one of the best athletes in the world. He was trying to like look for these things that were gonna help his craft, and I was trying to develop things that would help the athlete's craft. So we just had a lot of conversations about, what the future looked like. The recovery industry didn't really exist, so the concept of creating products around recovery was a pretty wide open space. We had to kind of create a whole new category.
Okay, so we've got the Hyperboot here. I know it looks like a shoe, but it's actually a warm-up and recovery system. Preparing the foot, the ankle, and the Achilles, which is an area you want to mobilize, is a really important concept in all sports. So we were thinking about, like, how can we create a product that is mobile, where the athlete can take anywhere, and that maybe the athlete can wear this and kind of be in motion. And so it just sort of led us to like, well, that sounds like a shoe. When you have an idea for a shoe and you're making something for athletes, there's only one company that kind of comes to mind. Nike was our first and only call.
So the Hyperboot is really the combination of two of our core technologies, the dynamic air compression of the Normatec and the hyperheat technology from our Venom line.
So it does both heat and compression.
Right. The technology is really a delivery system for a modality. A modality is just an input to the bodies. We look at combining modalities that have a multiplier effect. When heat's applied to the body, if we add compression at high enough pressure, that heat goes deeper into the tissue and we get better mobility in the ankle and Achilles.
I always was interested in education and became a teacher in my early 20s. As a teacher, you're a learner. You constantly have to learn new information and be able to apply it. Part of why I started companies like just this curiosity of what if there's something more than what I'm doing now. I would have never started my company if I made a calculation of a history teacher with no business experience starting a company. You have the belief that you're going to figure it out. To this day, I've never even acknowledged the possibility of failure. I came into the game with a pretty big deficit of knowledge. I always had this fear of like, hey, I need to learn a lot so that I can get on the playing field and be able to hold my own. Hyperice has brought me into contact with a lot of the world's best athletes. I was always looking for feedback and looking for how could I tap into what their needs are. We're delivering experiences, and those experiences need to be intuitive and they need to have no friction points for the user. Just growing up in the rise of Apple, and you see how easy their products are to use, how intuitive they are. We follow that inspiration. Products have to be light, they have to be portable, they have to be implemented in a way that's not disruptive to someone's life where they're carving out large periods of time to use them. If you aspire to make a world-class product so that the best in the world use it, if that product is, hard to understand or it's not intuitive, it's not going to get used.
This shoe kind of fillets open. So when you put your foot in, you're just going to kind of go in from the top, just like you would a normal shoe. All right. Yeah, like that. And then I'm going to take this first strap and I'm going to go over the top and I'm going to go and fasten that nice and tight. The swoosh is right here. We're going to go one strap's going to go over the swoosh.
Okay.
One strap is going to go under the swoosh.
Yeah, it feels comfortable.
Yep.
Above the swoosh and then below the swoosh.
The shoes are synced once you turn them on, but the one thing we do have to do is we have to power both shoes on.
It's like a computer. As soon as I put the straps on, I felt the air. I don't know exactly what's happening, but it feels like perfect around my foot right now. What's going on?
There's a sensor that reads your geometry of your foot and it's adapting the shoe to your actual foot.
It's got like a green light, white lights, like 4 buttons on it.
That's the controls. And then if you look here at, the buttons here, the circles that looks like kind of like the spiral, that is a button for compression.
Okay, so this one?
Yeah, so you're on level 1 compression. So let's take you up to level 3 compression. The next button is the thermometer, which obviously controls the heat. And so instead
That's this one right here.
Let's just go to 2. And if you notice that when I press 2 there, look what happened on the other shoe.
It automatically syncs.
Yeah, so they're synced. So I'm going to press play on one side, and you're going to feel both the shoes come on.
Oh yeah.
You're going to start to feel the effects. And when you look at the thermal imaging, you actually see the fluid that gets heated at the base of the foot is now getting moved up the leg. So that's why you kind of feel it like your whole leg.
Oh yeah, it's going through different parts of the foot, and now it's like right here.
It's dynamic.
I mean, you guys hear that noise? There's a little bit of noise going on there. I feel like we're gonna have to do some Hyperice ASMR later.
Take a couple of steps so you can kind of feel, this is what we call like walking mode. So like if you're gonna walk, you can easily walk in this place. Yeah, and you see that it's not super restrictive. The rocker kind of helps you.
Yeah, very smooth.
Our industry is called recovery technology, but I think that is a catch-all term. It's our philosophy that there are no magic bullets. There's a commitment that the athlete has to have in their preparation, in their training, in their recovery. We have to make tools that address all those different touch points. We don't look at our products as individuals that live on their own. We look at an ecosystem of connected products that serve the athlete in every moment of their day. We had to figure out what's a device that could help athletes warm up, what's for recovery, what's for day-to-day body maintenance. All of our products are inspired by proven modalities. The Venom comes from seeing athletes wrap themselves in heat pads that get soaked in water. We thought, what if we could do that using electronics? The Hyperboot comes from this belief that we need to get into the soft tissue every single day. And if we can do that mechanically instead of with our hands, the machine can do things that the human hand can't. We needed to deliver these modalities in the most elegant, intuitive, portable, and accessible form factors as possible. The idea behind the Hyperboot was, what if I had something that I could wear before I play that would put my body in the optimal state to start moving? And then what if there was something that I could wear the next day when I have a little soreness in my foot, ankle, Achilles, and that could get rid of that? So we needed something portable with compression and heat. And the Hyperboot was really complex because it was a true invention in every sense of the word. So to have a very innovative partner like Nike and having Hyperice bring our knowledge of recovery technology, that marriage is what enabled us to sort of come up with this really sophisticated product.
I went up to go see Chris Paul, who's a longtime Hyperice friend of the brand. I gave him a pair, and I said, look, I think he'd help you. He was entering his 20th season. I think he turned 40 this year. And this year, Chris Paul started all 82 games, I think for the first time in over a decade. He was able to incorporate this before games, after games, on the plane. Wow. And I actually joked when he put him on, I said, oh, maybe you'll play all 82 this year.
And he ended up doing it.
He ended up doing it.
My first love was sports. Sports is something that connects us, and they keep me connected to my youth. I wanted to help our bodies be able to play sports forever. I thought, what if I could be part of a movement in sports that could be really impactful? We're already living in a time where people have more access to technology to give them the opportunity to do the things they love to do for longer. That trend is only going to continue to accelerate. If I'm honest with myself, I think that I had a fear of kind of getting older. We're all looking for ways to find the fountain of youth in some form or fashion. Aging is the loss of movement over time, and if you can keep your body how you move when you're young, maybe we're not aging the same way as we used to. We envision a future that allows more access to more people all over the world to use our products. We shower, we wash our hair, we brush our teeth, and those are all things that are just sort of common behaviors that we have to keep a healthy body. I think of our products in a similar way. Hygiene on the inside is a huge part of maintaining a healthy body. So we think that as these products become more ingrained into people's lives, that they'll just seem like they were there forever. We have a philosophy here at Hyperice that all of our products have to evolve into a better version of themselves, taking our existing products and integrating new technology in them and making them better. There's also the completely new ideas, ideas that are not here yet that don't exist within our product line. In a sense, the story goes on forever. We'll never be done.
Power the boots off.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit the
power button on both. You have to hold it down on both.
Okay. It's releasing some air.
It's releasing the air, so you're gonna take both straps off. And I want you, without even putting your shoes on, I want you to just kind of stand up, and I want you to kind of go on your tiptoes, like you're like that.
Oh
and
yeah.
If you feel there's way less friction.
Oh yeah, it's released some tension for sure.
Yeah, a lot.
Because I ran yesterday.
Yeah.
And I actually used the Hyperice guns at the Equinox.
Yeah.
Ready for a run.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's only after one session. You could easily have done 2-3 sessions.
Yeah.
Felt that even more.
It feels great, and also like the heat kind of slowly evaporating almost off of it as well. It's nice to have the heat with the compression on there as well. It's pretty cool to see the before and after. I feel like I can go run a half marathon now, so the boot is no joke.
We're trying to get people to feel better and move better. Our imaginations now are not as limited by the limits of technology. So however we can help people, the mission has never changed.
Strength is one thing, longevity is another. This isn't just hardware, it's how you stay in the game. And I can see a future where no pain, no gain is just a saying of the past.